Okay, my name is Joanne Elmer, and I'm 75 years old, and I'm retired now. I was in the financial industry. I had been told by other dentists that I wasn't a candidate for false teeth because I would never be able to keep them in because I had so much bone loss. I actually prayed about it. Okay, what am I going to do? You know, because several of my bottom teeth were getting loose, and I go, what am I going to do? I mean, you know, I know that I would have to have a whole lot of grafting, and I knew they were never going to let me do that, you know. So when he said Ramus frame, I'm like all interested, and I listened to what he had to say, and then went home and looked it up on the internet, and it's been around for a while. It's just most dentists don't know about it, and it's a wonderful thing. When I came, well, I knew from searching around and doing my research and the several dentists that I'd spoken to that I really didn't have any choices other than to get some bone grafts and everything, and I knew that my doctor would never approve of that, period, paragraph, the end. So I was at my wit's end when I came here, and it was like a miracle. It was like a miracle. I had no other choice. When I found out there was a solution that was going to not make me have dentures that clacked or slipped or whatever, I was so excited. I mean, it was like life-changing. I had a lot of bone loss, and because of another medical condition, I really couldn't have a lot of surgery because due to a parathyroid tumor that I had years ago that was misdiagnosed, I've had a lot of medical problems, and I'm on restricted fluids, that sort of thing. So I had a, what do you call those things? Bridge. I had a bridge, and I used to wear it to work, you know, so that I would look okay. But there was no way in the world I could eat with that thing on, you know, so I completely went all day without eating, wouldn't go to lunch with anybody because I'd have to take it out to eat. So, I mean, I hated the thing. They are just worthless. I'm on restricted fluids, therefore the IV sedation was a problem, and because I can get congestive heart failure really easy. But we talked my kidney doctor into doing it. And it's really funny because when my kidney doctor, when I went to see him after all of this, because I did end up with a little congestive heart failure, because basically my mouth was a little bit sore after the surgery. I never really had any actual pain. I mean, you know, they give you the medication, but you know, like other people, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the pain, and it never happened, and I never had to take anything for pain. But my mouth, quite frankly, was a little bit sore, you know, from being open and that sort of thing. And so I'm having smoothies because I really am not eating, and I got too much fluid. But before, I would usually choose softer foods, ones that I could chew and not get a tummy ache, and now I can eat just anything. I mean, there's no limit. I can eat everything now, which I couldn't before. Meat was completely out of the question because I only had about 6 of my bottom teeth, and you know, I didn't have complete chewing ability. So I came to Dr. Carroll, and he had the magic portion for me. I was very self-conscious before, and I didn't smile a lot because you could see that I didn't have back teeth, and it just made me terribly self-conscious. And now my friends say, you smile so much more now. I went to my regular meeting, and they all knew I had dental surgery. I didn't tell them I was having false teeth. I mean, you don't go around telling people that. But I told them I was having some dental surgery, and I guess I saw them about 2 weeks later, and they all looked at me and they said, we don't believe you had dental surgery. I think you had plastic surgery. So I feel like I'm free to smile, I'm free to talk. You know, I don't have that hesitation. After surgery, and Dr. Carroll told me that I might have some numbness in my chin. And sure enough, after surgery, I did. In the tip of my chin right there, I didn't have any feeling. And, you know, I can't remember. It really wasn't a problem. I can't remember if it was 3 months or 6 months, but it definitely went away, and one day it went away and it was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, that is not an impediment at all to have a little bit of numbness. The numbness is very nil, I would think. I mean, I get up and make up my face every day, and I mean, it really didn't bother me, and I mean, it didn't bother me when I ate, when I talked. I really didn't think about it. It was only when I touched my face and it was like, oh, it's a little bit numb there, but that certainly is no impediment, the numbness at all. I wouldn't even worry about that aspect. Getting a Ramus frame was quite life-changing for me because now I smile more often. People notice that I smile more often, and they go, are you happier now? Because you seem to be smiling a lot more. I love the fact that with the Ramus frame, you're never worried about your teeth slipping. When you're eating, when you're talking, you don't spit. You don't have any of the other problems that I heard that people with regular dentures have. I would rate the Ramus frame procedure as the best in the world. I mean, there wasn't a lot of pain. I wasn't in a lot of pain afterwards. I mean, it was relatively good, and I feel that today's dentistry is wonderful. I mean, they're very caring, and they take care of everything. I mean, they're very conscientious. I would recommend the Ramus frame to anyone that was going to have a denture, especially on the bottom. Especially on the bottom, because the procedure's easy. It's painless as far as I was concerned. But maybe I have a high pain threshold, but I wasn't in any pain at all, no discomfort. I slept fine the night of surgery. The night after having the surgery, there was no problem whatsoever. And it's just a tiny bit more expensive than getting regular dentures, so I'd say go for the best. I mean, it's funny, when I had my nephrologist appointment, he said, see, I told you not to have that surgery. And he goes, if you had to do it all over again, would you do it? And I go, absolutely, absolutely. I have really had no problem at all with the Ramus frame or the procedure at all. When I first got the regular teeth after the healing denture, we thought it fit fine, and after a couple of days it got a little bit loose and I could eat hard things, but when I ate something soft, like for instance a scone, it would come up. So I immediately called the office. They brought me in, they adjusted it immediately, and then a few weeks later it got to where I couldn't take it out because it was really fitting really tight, and I had it off one tooth. I called, they took care of it. I mean, they are there for you 100% all the time. Since I had the dental surgery, really the only thing other people have noticed is they keep saying, are you sure you didn't have your cheeks lifted or your chin lifted? And I'll go, no, you know I have medical problems. I could never do anything like that. You didn't have Botox? No, I can't have Botox, you know.